Niagara 124, your source for news, entertainment, food, and jibber jabber. Put on your thinking caps, grab your champagne and confetti, and prepare for your debriefing on current events. This week on Niagara 124. This is the last time I'll be doing this. It's our series finale, ladies and gentlemen. And that's right, Bobby and I made it for 8 seasons.
And I helped for half.
Sure, Joe. Hello, everybody. How is everyone doing on this fabulous Friday, April 27th, 2018? As always, welcome to Niagara 124. I'm Nico.
I'm Bobby.
And I'm Joe. Hi, folks.
That's the last time you're going to be hearing this ever.
Yeah.
Because...
That's the last time I'm going to be saying I'm Bobby.
Well, you two...
You'll be saying it at the end.
You two are gone. I'm still hanging around the studio, though. I still got, like, 2 years left.
You're going to Australia, so...
Next semester. I'll be back after I'm gone.
Australia 124, live from Australia.
Live podcast from Australia.
He has a really bad fake Australian accent.
Right, mate. We going to talk about them kind of events.
What is that accent? Oh, no. So, I just remember our first ever episode of Niagara 124. Bobby wasn't here yet because his class got it at 12:10.
Yeah.
And it took him a week to walk over here. Well, every week. It took him a very long time to get here. And we talked about serious news. We had the notebook, the Got Nerd notebook that was filled with all the serious news. And then we talked about guardrails and how Bobby was wondering how guardrails got up and stabbed people. It was such a more civilized time, a happier time,
Man,
a more innocent time.
a more random time where, I don't know, I guess things just don't happen anymore and we don't see things happening because we have nothing to talk about.
Well, it's not, well, I think it's
Where did you get all the news before?
I used to actually look up news and I'd watch the news and get news, but I mean, that was back when we were a news show and people weren't paying attention to the news back then. And now people just want to not talk about the news. So much like any other news station, we have turned into a opinionated talk show. Like every news station.
Yeah.
Instead of telling the news, we just provide useless commentary.
We tell it and comment on it.
Oh,
We also talk about other things. Shout out to Joe's mother,
Yes, thanks, Mom.
who provided us with fudge, which is the nicest thing that has ever been given to this show.
the only thing.
Ever. This is the only thing that we have ever gotten that hasn't involved swearing and things thrown at our window.
What?
What?
There's been swearing on this show before.
Things
Yeah,
thrown at
I've
our
been
window?
there.
All the time.
I've been
Pretty
there.
much every episode that featured James, or when Ron walks in.
Or, yeah, when Ron walks in. Or when we have our friends come in for a lively discussion and they get too heated.
Lies.
Cough, cough, Patriot Hour, cough,
Never.
cough.
Oh, no. Why
Who
did...
thought that was a good idea?
Friends?
Oh, we just got them in for an interesting debate. You know, different perspectives
That
and all.
was such a good move. However, it is, as we said, our final show. And before we go into any news, I think we should each talk about, I don't know, our favorite moment from all our years here at Niagara 124.
You're going to make me
Awesome.
have to think?
Yep.
I don't remember anything.
You don't. Yeah, Bobby spent most of that time zoning out.
Listen, I'm in here. I just talk. I don't think about what I'm saying.
And that is our official motto. Don't think, talk. I want to say my favorite moment on Niagara 124 has to be when we had James on the show, and then he stopped showing up, so he was promptly replaced with an Italian puppet. I think that was probably one of the more quirky moments of replacing a radio show host with a puppet.
Yup.
That was probably one of my favorite. I liked our Mardi Gras episode.
You had a Mardi Gras episode?
We did. Our first year we had a Mardi Gras episode and a Halloween episode.
I liked any time we
Oh.
did something and it wasn't serious whatsoever.
Yes.
I'm the only one who loves the seriousness.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who likes the controversy
He
here.
thrives in it.
I thrive on controversy.
You
man.
and
I love
James,
it.
if you and James were in a show together,
That would end the world.
it would have been intense.
I just wish I wish I could have debated him. He sounded like an interesting person to debate.
Remember when we had our mystery Twitter follower Billy Bob,
I remember
who
Billy
just
Bob.
yeah,
I love you, Billy Bob.
Billy Bob loved you. That was
So-
there was a weird love affair going on
Wonderful.
between
Well,
Billy Bob and
I'm-
Bobby.
Well, for me, my favorite moment, and I've only been here for like two.
You've been here for 4 seasons.
I've been here for 4. I've been here for half of your seasons, 8 in total, right?
Yeah.
So I've been here for half.
You're the new James.
You're
You're like new Coke. No one asked for it, but you're getting it anyway.
Nah, I think I'm more akin to the Sammy Hagar. I injected new blood.
No, you
into
are new Coke, Joe.
Nah. But my favorite, I've only been here for like 4 seasons, but my favorite thing that's happened, if we're talking in show,
In show.
out
Out of show does not count.
yeah, because I was gonna list our D&D games,
No, it
but
does not count.
I'd say probably in show best thing was funniest thing at least was when your reaction to Ron coming in. I mean, it's always funny whenever you like react to like somebody randomly popping in, whether it's like Zach, Ron, or someone like that. Especially when they say
and
where's
then,
Zach.
yeah.
And,
Yeah, when he asked where Zach was, and then I said, I don't know, and I'm on a show, so he swore.
yeah.
I'm pretty... There's probably going to be a reel at some point. I'm not going to make it. We don't have fans, so no, there's not going to be... but
There's
there
8
would just-
people listening. That's all I mean.
There would definitely be, if you listen through, a lot of our episodes are up on the Niagara 124 YouTube page. Some of them, there's about a season and a half that's missing, which is pretty much your first your first 2 seasons, that junior year for us,
Yeah.
Bobby.
Yeah.
Is not up on YouTube.
Yeah.
So there's like patches missing in the archive. But otherwise, there are lots of sections in which you could probably find me overreacting to something.
Oh, yeah. It's what you do.
I bet if I went through, I could make you say anything I wanted to make you say.
Oh, yes.
With all the audio clips.
Yeah, do
Yeah,
the
all
audio
audio
editing.
clips of me saying things, considering my words per minute. Just have an entire rap battle.
Yeah. Or make you say something incriminating.
Let's not do that. I already say enough incriminating things. You don't need to tweet. You don't need to edit anything. I'm pretty sure every single
I'm,
election year coverage bit.
So listen, now that we're here at the end, I'm going to tell you that the whole reason I did this was so that I could do that. So now I'm going to go on. I'm going to listen to everything we've ever said, we've ever talked about.
You
And
think
I'm
I
gonna-
didn't know that? Well, that's why you don't talk. You didn't talk for like, 5 consecutive seasons. You didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Although I always said we should just have one of Bobby-isms.
Bobbyism.
Yeah, I'll go
'Cause,
through-
like, those first few seasons were just like him going, bleh,
I'm going to go
and then
through,
breathing into the mics.
Yeah.
go through and get out everything I've ever said.
Every
Put it into
time
a video
Joe laughs.
from Joe laughs. I could probably get like an hour worth of Joe laughing. Just
Oh,
by-
yeah, you probably could.
That would... Let's not do that. That's a mistake.
Epic laugh montage. Meme it,
Those
internet.
3 episodes where we decided to actually have, like, video footage.
I remember those.
Ooh.
Yeah, we thought we were so cool in the
We were,
beginning.
we were so
Season 7.
advanced.
And then it was like, nope, that's too hard.
That's why this is a radio show and not a video podcast.
Yeah, you know when
Well-
they say you got a face made for radio? I mean,
Got a face made for radio. Your face is a speaker. You can
Yep.
play some music.
yep, our face is a speaker.
Our faces are
a specuar.
Specuar.
I'm happy that this is all coming together at a time where the Koreas are making peace with each other, and Bill Cosby is
Yes!
guilty of all charges
Let's
and going to
talk-
prison for the rest of
We're
his
going
life.
into it. Let's do it.
So let's have a talk. Let's start with the more interesting news. Well, which one do you think?
Which
is
one's the more
Yeah, which
interesting?
one's more interesting? I don't know which. So let's just go with.
Let's talk about the Bills draft because we know sports ball. The Bills had a choice. They could either pick Josh Allen or Josh Rosen. Every single Bills fan wanted Josh Rosen, so naturally the Bills picked Josh Allen
Lol.
because go Bills.
Yeah, but I think the more interesting one. Let's talk Korea first. So what are
I
you?
want to save Korea because Korea. That's such a classic Niagara 124 bit.
You want to save that one for
Like
like
leader
later?
of true Korea. Wait, did Ron do it?
Did Ron?
Did
Yes.
Ron successfully? Okay, I'm
Ron
not
did
saying
it.
that Ron successfully unified the Koreas, but Ron went to South Korea last year, right?
Ron was behind the scenes.
So Ron's totally integral in doing it. And
There's
so
like a-
was James. It's totally was James.
So Ron and James are just in the back while North Korea and South Korea
Yeah.
are shaking hands.
Yep.
They're there with Trump giving the thumbs up.
Yep.
They hugged each other too. Ron was in the back pushing them together. You can't see him because he was standing behind them, but he did that.
Yeah.
So-
But yeah, what is going on in 2018? Like,
A whole
you know
bunch
those
of
things that's
stuff.
like, oh no, we're still gonna be. It's like this is the year where everything's trying to redeem itself. Like, hey, I know 2016 was bad and 2017 was really bad, so
Yeah.
2018 we're gonna take all those mistakes and fix them.
Listen, Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out this year, so I don't care about it because I've been waiting that.
Yeah,
for
that's your only concern.
16.
Yeah, he really.
You and
okay.
everyone else.
No,
Bobby's.
16 years of my life has been dedicated to that
That's sad.
series.
That's
You were
that's
sad.
I was 7 when the first game came out.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh boy. Maybe that's what's unifying the Koreas. Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah,
Square
Kim,
Enix, good job.
Kim Jong Un's just like, I don't want to destroy the world anymore. I have this.
When you walk away.
No. All right.
But
So-
anyway, so if we're saving Korea for later, then let's talk about.
I think we just did Korea. But
Oh, we just
okay.
did Korea?
I'm pretty
Saved-
sure that was it.
We saved
That was it?
Korea.
No.
We say Niagara
We did it,
124
Patrick.
saved Korea.
We did it, Patrick.
We saved
this-
Korea.
But what are your opinions on it? You think it's serious? You think Kim Jong Un's just bluffing?
Kim Jong
What do
Un
you
went
think?
to South Korea. He could cross the border.
Right, but yeah, they've had meetings like this before, and usually
the
the North
Adventures
Korea
of
just
Kim Jong Un. Kim Jong Un. Actually, no, they haven't had meetings like this. This is the first time in the history of North Korea that the president of North Korea is going to South Korea. In their entire history since the peninsula was split, this is the first time this has ever happened.
Wow.
So, yeah, this is a little bit more significant than
The previous meetings, but same sort of thing. I really am not sure if the North Koreans are wholeheartedly on board with what they agreed to.
Oh, I'm sure they're
Because you
not.
know,
I don't think they agreed to anything.
I don't think
no.
they
Well,
agreed
they've
to
had
anything.
they've had previous agreements with the Bush administration, Clinton.
They haven't.
Well, yeah, they had sort of
Please.
they had agreements where they were going to basically denuclearize, and they basically went around and did what they do.
Yeah, no doubt.
The North Koreans just listen to Kim Jong Un and they go along with what he says.
They watch Squirrel and Hedgehog.
Yeah.
There have been no new season. The reason they need to unify is North Korea has officially run out of production money to make Squirrel and Hedgehog, and their country is in crisis. So they need to go to South Korea to ask for help to make more Squirrel and Hedgehog.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
I'd like to believe that North Korea was unified through the power of Niagara 124.
Yep, we
Yes,
did that.
We
We
did.
were there.
It was us.
I'm not sure
It
you
was
can
us.
see. All three of us were there at the meeting. We're hanging out in the back.
I know we just said it was Ron, but it was actually
It was
us.
us.
It was
we
all
are
us.
Ron.
We are
There
Ron.
is no. Ron was also just a puppet, like James. They were all just Muppets.
He was a life-size puppet, though.
Okay,
Yes.
that's creepy now.
That's it.
That goes into
That's like Weekend at
that
Bernie's.
that goes into the weird skin suit territory when we thought James was dead and someone was wearing him as a meat suit. It was a weird era sophomore year. Very weird. Okay, let's talk about Bill Cosby.
Oh, let me tell you with the...
Can you not do the Bill Cosby impression anymore?
I want to do the Bill Cosby.
I hope he has a good time in prison.
Yeah. Oh, no, go to prison. Oh, no, I don't want the pudding.
He's gonna get destroyed.
Oh, man. Like, everyone's like, oh, man, this is, like, the first serious, conviction in the Me Too movement. And I'm like, this predates the Me Too movement.
Yeah, this was going on.
This has been going on for,
since
he
like
was
05.
This was before, yeah. I mean, they've been trying to get him on this forever. And it's fine. They finally did. And the first time it was a mistrial, and now they did it again. And even with a woman running up to him completely naked in protest.
And it was...
Because that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Someone is being convicted of drugging and sexually assaulting women. Run up to him naked.
And I saw, and of course...
protesting.
As usual, the internet immediately memed it, because they showed the bush like it was eating her. You know, she jumped into the bush.
No, I didn't actually.
Yeah,
see
it looks like it says nom, and it's like the bush is.
Where do you go? Where do you find these? I am on Twitter. And I don't see these memes.
You don't follow the right people.
No, I think the problem is I do follow the right people, Joe. I think the problem is some of the accounts you're following are a little suspicious.
Oh, how so? You don't know who I follow.
Yeah, I do.
You can view followers.
Yeah,
I can view your followers.
Who's suspicious?
Joe, when you and Roadwolf are tweeting out the same things, and Roadwolf is a polyamorous Therian...
We don't retweet the same things.
You literally do half the time. It would show, like, Roadwolf. And
who's
Joe.
Roadwolf?
He's a guy in Tonawanda that thinks he's a wolf.
Oh.
And hit on our resident former mascot turned owner, Sheepy Niagara.
Oh.
That was weird.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Honestly, my favorite moment out of Niagara 124 is the fact that Sheepy Frasiered us. Like, we're cheers, and then all of a sudden comes Sheepy, and Sheepy just becomes Frasier. And it's just like, dang it.
You always want to go where everybody... And we do all know... No, we don't.
We don't know anyone's
We don't know anyone's name.
Okay, I take it
person
back.
Here.
Know what my favorite moment on Niagara 124 was? When we found out the listened to our show.
Is he listening
right
right
I think
now?
he's been turned off by now.
I think he's probably left by now.
As soon as I showed up, he's like,
more
oh,
like
God.
when I talked about Niagara Falls, which I used to do a lot.
Ooh, yeah.
It's not like you don't talk about it now.
And Bobby was very upsetty. And he had no spaghetti.
I don't know a single thing. I
he
can't talk
here.
about a single thing, yeah.
And he lives here.
That tells you a little something about where
we're that tells you a little something about why this thesis I wrote is kind of important. Also, my thesis defense is at 125 today. And
defend that thesis.
Which I believe I will try to make it to. Bobby, what about you?
I probably will not be there, I'm sorry.
That's okay, Bobby.
Am I going to be the only one there?
No, Zach's going to be there.
Oh.
You'll have two people.
And my panel. And there's people.
There's peoples.
I don't know what's happening.
Well, obviously what is happening is Niagara 124.
Yeah?
For another hour and 10 minutes.
Well, no, we're not going to go the full time.
We're not?
No, the reason I started early was because I have to leave early.
When do you
have to leave early?
We'll probably shut down at 12:45.
All right.
But we should, Bobby,
I was about
bring
to
up
say
topics.
I was about to say
we should all eat fudge together. We should all just
sit
here on the radio, not talking, just loudly eating fudge.
Just
I do not agree with that.
What is this? Is this like the worst ASMR feed ever?
It's like that that Korean thing mukbang where they eat food.
No,
what is mukbang?
You've never heard of it?
Oh, I think I know what he's talking about, and let's not talk about that.
No, they just eat food in live streams
on our Christian server.
No,
are you talking about the
Yeah,
where they
it's
just
like
stream them eating?
They just
and
stream
get-
them eating.
Yeah.
It's just them
Excuse
eating.
me, sir.
They-
This is a Christian server, so
People,
no swearing.
No.
people make money. Off
People
of
make
doing
a
that.
lot of
I
money
wish I
doing
could.
that.
I wish I could make.
I
money
wish
off
I
of doing
could.
that.
I wish
mean,
I could make
people
money
make-
off eating KFC
I
in
do
front of
not
a camera.
understand pricing on things, though. I do not understand that, like, cottage industry and, like... Okay, so, you know how, like, a lot of artists, like Tumblr artists stuff, and they always have, like, commissions open?
Yeah.
Okay, like, their commission prices, and sometimes they're steep, because sometimes I don't think their pricing is valued at what they're drawing.
Yeah.
But, have you ever seen furry pricing? Like, it triples!
Are you talking about like art or just fursuits?
Art.
Because
Fursuits are over
Fursuits are
$1,000.
expensive.
They are expensive. They are insane. But art, like some people I know, they'll do a pencil sketch and they'll charge you, and they might not be excellent artists, but they'll charge like $10 to $20 for like a doodle they did, and it's all like disproportionate and stuff. And I'm like, oh no.
furry is a premium. Furries are premium. People don't like drawing furries, but if you give them money, they'll draw you furries.
I don't believe it though, because all the furries that draw furries charge like an arm and a
Then
leg.
I have no idea.
It's like there's just like some sort. It's almost like, well, I mean, apparently when you own $1,000 fursuit, $50 for a badge commission is perfectly reasonable, because all these people, I don't understand where they have this disposable income. Like, I can't, like, my car exploded and I can't afford to fix my car,
I mean,
but hey, I have a two grand fursuit.
I mean, if it's like their interest, then I can see like why they're spending so much money on it. Because I spend a lot of money on like my computer and like all that stuff. So like I can
get
understand.
why they spend the money. I don't, but sometimes like they're simultaneously in debt and still spending the money, and that's kind of living dangerously.
Yeah. Putting all your money towards that is probably not a good idea, but
Yeah.
like budgeting.
What is the I don't even know. Like,
The what?
it's not like buying stock and stuff. Like the
The fur economy?
the
furry economy.
The furry economy. And I honestly believe the furry economy could cottage industry itself, and if it was its own country, could like stabilize its own economy, because it's insane.
Yifcoin.
Can we not?
Too late.
Can
It's
we
already been
not?
made. There's already now a cryptocurrency called Yifcoin.
I'm sure.
gonna
I
look
think
it
it
up.
already exists. Well, don't. Okay, yeah. Look it up on your phone. Don't look.
Yeah,
it up on
don't look
school
that up on a
please.
computer, please.
Don't be Zach.
I mean, I'm on the Wi-Fi. So
Don't be Zach.
Well, Zach uses incognito.
no, he doesn't.
He doesn't.
No.
Oh,
No.
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 Ooh,
But
what
I
is
got-
this? I don't know what this is.
Wait, what?
Let me see.
It's
I want to see it. We're looking at it right now, folks.
Oh no.
Let me see. Bobby, let me
it's
see.
just like Yifcoin. I don't know what it is.
Don't click it. It'll give you a virus.
Don't click this, Bobby.
Why?
Because
it's
will
gonna
give
kill
you
your
virus.
phone.
It will brick your phone.
It's gonna turn your phone into a furry.
Oh, it's still in beta.
Okay.
So I just got news.
Oh
coming
no,
out.
Joe's got the news.
So just out, House Intelligence Committee report released. No evidence that Trump campaign colluded with Russia or coordinated.
Wow, which of the 5,000 that say that is this?
Clinton campaign.
Okay, wait. Where? What news site?
This was. Let me check. I think it was NBC.
I would if NBC does that. NBC is super liberal, so somehow I doubt it.
Let me see. New York Times.
Oh, New York Times is pretty middle of the road.
New York Times. Yeah, it was the New York Times released this information. House
Wow.
Intelligence Committee releases findings on Russian election interference, and they found no collusion.
Well, the House Intelligence Committee findings?
Yeah,
Or
House Intelligence Committee.
Yeah, but the House Intelligence Committee is controlled by the Republicans. I don't think there was collusion.
I don't think there.
Honestly, I think-
honestly don't think so either.
The funny thing is that people are solely, and we've said this before on the show, there didn't have to be collusion. Russia
Yeah.
just needed to convince the entire United States
Yeah.
that our election had been botched, so we just, like, run wild in fear.
that's what's been happening, though.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, this is kind of a thing where we don't want to blame ourselves. We want to blame some outside force
Yeah.
because we're too afraid to admit that we elected Trump. Like, we're just we don't want to admit it. Like,
Well, you see this with-
Unfortunately, guess what?
And you also
Oh.
see politicians blaming the Russians as well for their losses and not accepting that it was their fault
Well,
that they
that's- well,
lost.
I mean, that's
cough,
natural.
cough, Clinton, cough, cough.
Well, Clinton... Honestly, when did Comey become a good guy? Because remember when we all hated him because he's like, oh, we're reinvestigating Hillary? Like 2 days before the election? And then afterwards he's like, oh, we didn't find anything?
Yeah.
And everyone was like, shame on you. And that's why Trump was like, oh yeah, he's my buddy. And then Comey was like, oh, I'm not helping you out either. And Trump's like, shame on you, I'm firing you. Because Comey doesn't pick sides. Comey just kind of watches the world burn.
I'm done with all this crap.
What is
until
politics?
midterm elections, then I'm not.
This is, you know, it's the stuff like this that is making me want to just give up on everything.
You know
and
what elections
form my cult, which I want to get around to.
You heard it here.
Yes,
She's moving to California.
Moving to California and forming a cult.
Oh gosh, she'll be in the Niagara Falls Reporter. Oh, my apologies. It's the Niagara Reporter now because they don't cover the falls as much. They are so hip and
Why are
now.
they covering California?
Because Frank Parlato, the owner, had some vendetta against this, and was trying to track down this sex cult that was in California. Which actually, there was some, I think it was it was some actress.
The actress from Smallville.
Yeah, she was just arrested for that. And that's the one that Parlato, and Parlato's so smug right now. He's like, I called it. I told all of you this was happening. I was the one that brought it to light, the Niagara Falls Reporter. I'm like, yeah. The Niagara Falls Reporter cracked the case, folks. But, in all seriousness, the elections I'm quite interested about. Next year, 2019.
2019 election?
2019.
Who's running?
The Niagara Falls mayoral elections.
Ooh, that one. Ooh.
We gotta see what happens. We gotta. Is Paul gonna run for a fourth term? Is he gonna try to go full O'Loughlin and get a fourth term? And if he does, will he succeed?
I don't know.
I mean, this is like
Manfa. Make Munfa. Make Niagara Falls
great
Munfaga.
again.
Munfaga.
Make Niagara Falls great again.
What I want to know is, and my other thing is, if he decides to run for a fourth term, why? Why would anyone? I mean, he had to run for a third term because a lot of the progress that he had set up in his second term was going to come to fruition under his third term, and he basically wanted to be there to say, like, yeah, this was me, so I can finally, mainly the train station, he wanted to be able to cut that ribbon. He wanted to be able to see all the stuff he had put together, come through, because he knew it was coming through, and he succeeded in that, but a fourth term, then you just start running into a O'Loughlin territory, and then you're Mayor Paul. And you're in for. I mean, he's already going to have been mayor for 12 years.
Niagara Falls Mayor Nico Santangelo.
Can we not yet? Everyone keeps saying that, and one person I find, because everyone's like, "Oh, you should be mayor," and then I talk to someone in the falls, they're like, "There was a long line of people trying to be mayor." I'm like, "I know. I'm going to wait till they all exhaust themselves."
Yeah.
Until they all die.
Is that your plan?
No, my plan is, okay. So if we're going based on history, it's only a matter of time before our long-term mayors turn into a series of one-term mayors, because it just happens eventually. Like, people in the city just start going like, no, I want this guy. No, wait, I want this guy. Although that might not happen, because that would more had to do with really, my thesis explains all of this, but I'm not going to explain my thesis.
Explain it all right now, right here.
Let me go through all 48 and a half pages.
Is that what you have to do
of
during
my thesis? No, actually, I just explain what I did to write my thesis. I don't explain my actual thesis.
I was about to say, how long is
my
this?
panel already read my thesis.
Oh.
I was about to say, how long is this defense going to take?
20 minutes, 20 to 30.
Because I was about to say, I'm not standing there for hours.
You're sitting. It's in a room. You don't need to stand. That would be creepy if you're standing.
Only Joe has to stand.
Joe has to stand. He gets no donuts. He gets no donuts.
He has to pass out the donuts.
He has to stand there holding 2 boxes of donuts.
Yeah, I just look profoundly annoyed. And I'm just staring at you.
He's like, we put a blindfold over him because justice is blind.
There was a post. I think it was in some kind of 716 group on Facebook.
Oh,
but somebody was looking for someone to hold signs outside the Bonton for their liquidation sale, and they were saying, "Oh, $40 for 5 hours. That's under minimum wage. That's illegal."
No sign holders. They've done
Wait,
that.
$40 for how many hours?
5. I believe
Yeah, because minimum wage is
Yeah.
$10.70.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, New
So
York
he-
State minimum wage is
how?
$10.70.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know what the deal is with sign
So-
holders because I don't know if it's a position or if
But,
it's
like-
if it's just pay or if it's work for hire. Like it's not hourly. It's
Sam
just,
Sam was like commenting on. She was trying to figure out like who was like running
the liquidation.
I'm
room.
assuming, yeah, but
So
like still like I would do that for $40 if all I have to do is stand there. Like I don't have to.
You have to, like,
even though it's under minimum wage.
Yeah, no, what's really funny though is when you look at like the Toys R Us, their Twitter just released like a really exciting. Prices have been slashed for the Toys R Us liquidation sale, and kids are like, "Oh my gosh, look at all these toys!" I'm like, "This is a video about how Toys R Us is going out of business," and you're playing like, "Oh, the prices are 20 to 40% off, woo!" And it's like, why is this so happy? Like, why are the liquidators making this so exciting?
It's so wonderful, isn't
Who's
it,
ready
kids?
for
We're all gonna die.
Okay, you do not. I was there Saturday. I was at Toys R Us because it was the last day that Jeffrey was there. It was
Jeffrey,
like, it
I
was
need
like
to
the
touch you.
it was. We've done it, folks. We have hit our peak. We will never get any higher than we are now. Well, I mean, Joe might get higher than we are now.
Lol.
Oh man, that was
Oh man.
Bobby here
That was
to
a
provide
SpongeBob
those.
reference.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
For those of you old people listening in our audience,
I'm not Bill Cosby. Yeah, I'm sorry.
that was a reference.
That's not Bill Cosby, Bobby.
I don't.
This is
He's Bill Cosby. Just
this
say Bill Cosby's not.
Bill Cosby.
You mean Bill Cosby? They don't play us in prisons? I mean, honestly, prisons, you missed your chance for the best use of waterboarding in history. We are the audio version of waterboarding.
Yeah, that'd be
You know,
great.
like they play Barney the dinosaur and Gitmo to torture people.
What were you gonna say though?
They just
'Cause
play
I'm
my
sorry I
laugh.
interrupted.
What was I?
I don't know. You
Oh
were
yeah,
talking.
it was chaos there last Saturday.
Were there a lot of people just buying everything?
That store, it looks like the apocalypse, and everyone's just grabbing things
Oh my
off the
gosh.
shelves. And my mother, who is so like clean up everything, she's like organizing the shelf, and 2 minutes later, it's just like trash. And she's coming back, she's like, it's like the person setting up the cans in the store, and someone kicks the cans over, so you just start setting them back up again.
It's brutal, man.
There's like 600 people all there, and everyone's like. But you have like customers that ask like random questions, like, "Hey, do you have any of this item? I know they're supposed to be here, but there's none on the shelf." Like, we would have no idea considering it's full liquidation and things are just all over the place. Like, there might be. Go find them.
When will we have this back in stock?
I like the story of every single one of these companies, though. Every company that has gone bankrupt or has had to close always tries to buy out their competition.
Yeah.
That's actually a thing. Like Bonton, so there's not just Bonton. There's so many Bonton stores, and then there's like the Boston store and Bergner's and like a trillion other stores under Bonton's name that they bought in 2006 from Saks Fifth Avenue. And they took on $1.2 billion in debt to do it.
Ooh.
And then never made it back. So that's why they went bankrupt. And like when Hills basically lost all their money and got bought out by Ames, and Ames couldn't afford to buy Hills, so Ames went bankrupt. And Circuit City went bankrupt buying some other electronic firms. And, you know, Toys R Us went bankrupt because the people that bought Toys R Us bought it with debt, and then Toys R Us bought FAO Schwartz and may have actually purchased part of KB Toys. So because, you know, apparently the whole thing is collect massive amounts of debt by buying your competition and then go bankrupt. Which is why Sears is not bankrupt yet, because other than the fact that Sears bought Kmart, and Kmart is choking, Sears has not bought anything. In fact, Sears just sells everything. Like, hey, you know how we make money on Craftsman? Let's just sell it so we don't make money anymore. Because who cares? And yet they want to buy Kenmore. Like, you sold Craftsman, but you're buying Kenmore. Because that's all that's left in Sears now is just Kenmore appliances and sadness.
And some
Yeah.
kind
But
of
can we
clothing.
talk about, like, how is it that in that Summit Park Mall, Sears outlived Bonton?
I have no idea.
Sears has been bankrupt for 600,000 years, and I always said, I'm like, oh, take photos of Sears while you can, because Sears is going to close. Even over the winter, I went to Sears with my friends, and we did a video in there. We didn't go to Bonton, and Bonton's the one that's closing.
Sears is a cursed zone.
It really is.
Sears is...
There's never anybody in there.
No.
Like, there's, like, I saw, like, 3 people.
You know what's really creepy, though, is when you go to Sears, there's, like, a bunch of cars in the parking lot.
Yeah.
But there's no one there.
I don't know where...
There's not even employees. Like, where are these
There's, like, one employee at the register, and that's it.
Like, hello. Like, all the... And it's funny because every song that's playing in there, like, for a period was all from... Like, Sun Park Mall closed in 2009, so all their music was from 2009 or earlier. Like a Cascade song would start playing, and you're like...
What is Cascade?
He's a DJ, so he played...
I don't know that
Speaking
music.
of DJs,
Yeah, let's...
That happened literally an hour after our show last week. It was announced that Avicii...
Yes, Avicii has tragically passed away.
Oh, did you see the comments?
What?
His family released a second statement.
What did they say?
That kind of heavily implied that... Did you see this, Bobby?
No, I didn't see this.
Okay, so the statement stated that, and it was from his family, talking about how gentle of a soul he was, and he was not cut out for the fame he had. And it implied that he was seeking peace and hoping that he found that peace. And I think we can make the insinuation of, So that's what, based on what his family said, and they said he just couldn't deal with the pressure anymore. That was one of the lines that kind of got highlighted by a lot of people.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we think that...
Yeah. Unfortunately, that is a sad factor with a lot of artists.
Yeah.
Especially,
Vern Troyer, too.
Well, the most famous example is Kurt Cobain. I mean, Cobain...
I don't think he's... Is he the most famous example?
Of, like the pressure of fame and the sort of psychological toll and the sort of, that sort of situation.
I mean, he wasn't the first, and he certainly wasn't the last.
Like, probably meant the most to most people nowadays.
But the problem with Kurt Cobain, and not the problem with Kurt Cobain has this Ethereum around, and this kind of Kurt Cobain's suicide has become almost like this cultural point of, like, the artist's suicide that bothers... In fact,
what do you mean
by that? I can't remember what company it was. One of those companies that... I can't remember. One of those stupid clothing companies that does...
They put his letter on a t-shirt.
They put his suicide letter on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's... The whole thing with, like, Nirvana right now, and Kurt Cobain in general, is that, like, this populace of, like, Kurt Cobain... How many people are just wearing Kurt Cobain shirts or talking about Kurt Cobain? You're wearing Nirvana.
I'm wearing my Nirvana shirt.
You know Nirvana.
I love.
But there are so many people where, like, Nirvana is now just like a statement. They don't listen. They don't even know who Kurt Cobain was. They don't know the intricacies of it. They don't even really know Nirvana.
I agree, and that's something that you see with not just Nirvana. The Ramones have that problem as well. The Ramones, the Dead Kennedys. These people just kind of wear the shirt because it's like, oh, this shirt says I'm a rebel. This shirt says I'm like...
Well, yeah, because...
And it's like this commercialization of rebellion where it's like, oh, yeah, this shirt makes you a rebel. This shirt just, does that. And it's like ridiculous because it's like you got to listen to the music. And these people don't really. They just want the statement of wearing the merch clothing.
I think... And there's a line between being like... And I'm not saying that people who... I'm trying to think how to word this. You don't have to be a super fan to wear Nirvana
we're not
stuff.
gatekeeping.
Like, it's not gatekeeping. It's like, but you should at least... There was like it was a Vine one time or a Twitter who was like, I asked this girl who sang this song, and it was a really popular Nirvana song, and she didn't know, but she was wearing a Nirvana t-shirt. And those are the ones, I mean, that's why, like, I get bugged at Forever 21 sometimes, because I'm like, you don't know what this is.
Oh, yeah. Like,
I'm like, you don't know what this is. Like,
are you kidding me? The amount of,
like, if you know the cultural reference, like, there's sometimes, like, you know, there's movie t-shirts, and maybe you didn't see the movie, but you at least know the line and you know what the reference is.
Yeah.
Like, if you get the reference, it's okay. Like, if it's going completely over your head and, like, you don't even know what the shirt means, that can even get you into trouble sometimes, because you might be wearing something that actually means something different than what you thought it did.
Oh, exactly. And then,
all the time.
I mean, how many, like, pop singers have had a Ramones t-shirt, for an example, and when pressed for, like, their favorite song, they almost all say, that Hey Ho Let's Go song, that's the one
I know, but
like.
they still know a Ramones song.
Yeah, but,
that's different.
Yeah, but it's like...
No, that's... I'm, like, if you ask them, what's your favorite Ramones song, and they went... Who are the Ramones?
Yeah, who are the Ramones?
Wait, they were a band? I just thought this was a cool t-shirt.
Yeah.
Like, that is where the line gets a little funky.
One thing this made me think about is all the shirts that have, like, Chinese or Japanese characters on them. And then the reverse, all the Chinese shirts that have English words.
And it's the funniest thing.
It's always,
They say, like, just curse words and, like, and all this... No, you don't know what it says.
Beep, lettuce.
Why are you wearing it?
Beep, beep, lettuce.
Smack that beep with my lettuce.
It's very...
Oh, Japan.
You gotta appreciate that, though. Okay, I finally got around to watching Ghost in a Shell. The new one. The new one. The one with Scarlett Johansson in it. It's actually...
It's not as good as the anime.
No, okay, well, nothing's gonna be as good as the anime. But they take some creative liberties with things, trying to mesh it. But it's actually a really good movie. It's actually... Okay, Joe, have you seen it?
Yeah.
You've seen the new one?
Yeah.
I've not seen the anime nor the movie.
I haven't seen the anime, but, I mean, as a standalone movie, it's not super bad. But there was, like, you know, the controversy surrounding it because, Scarlett Johansson's white.
I didn't care about that. Most Japanese people didn't care.
And there was someone that pointed out an argument that said people in Japan have a different concept when a white person's in a movie versus Japanese Americans. Because in Japan... they just have, there's a lot of, like, you know, there's this concept of white beauty, and there's white people in Japanese movies, but there's still Japanese people in Japanese movies, where in America, it's always white people, and whitewashing is a problem. But I don't think it was so much whitewashing, and several of the creators of the anime, the director of the anime came out and was very happy they picked Scarlett Johansson, because he said, it's a cyberpunk movie, it's not a Japanese movie. It's a futuristic cyberpunk movie, and Scarlett Johansson fit the cyberpunk feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She has a history of that, so it worked well.
Yeah.
And she was, I mean, and everyone was very angry.
Not to mention that it was a non-controversy.
Okay, if you don't want to be spoiled for the new Ghost in the Shell movie, click off for like a minute and a half while I say this. The whole thing is, so in this version, she was a rebel the character she was in real life was Asian, and she was like an Asian, I want to say teenager or young adult, who was kidnapped by the corporation, given false memories, and implanted into Scarlett Johansson's body. And everyone's like, oh, so basically and this was one of the comments was, oh, well, so these robots are supposed to be the best design ever created, so the best thing is white? You took an Asian person and made them white? They're like, no, you took an Asian person and made them unrecognizable, so no one would know who they initially were.
I would just like to specify, this is a non-issue.
It really, in the movie, and the thing is, the people that are complaining didn't see the movie, it was really not relevant in the movie, and it kind of hit a lot of points where it was... I thought of it as almost the company took away her identity. The company is supposed to be this robots company is supposed to be the bad guy in this film.
Yeah.
And to be a bad guy, honestly, to take away someone's cultural identity is a pretty evil thing to do. So, honestly, I think it actually fit the plot of the film, and it was actually a brilliant subversion of whitewashing. But you would have had to see the film to know that.
But then again, I did not pick that up when I watched it. I was just like,
haven't seen the anime or the movie, but I know that people who like the anime don't like the movie.
Yeah,
because I hear it's not as like the anime's way more in depth.
Well, the story is also very different in the anime.
Yeah,
the character's different. Everything's very different.
Everything is very different.
But the director of the anime, wanted them to kind of take this different direction and was happy that they took it with a different direction because the anime was different than the manga completely.
Oh yeah,
they're not even remotely similar, and there's so many different iterations of Ghost in the Shell. The story has changed so many times that it was like there's a lot of leeway with it. It's not like Star Wars where there's a canon.
This has also happened with a lot of other live action adaptations of popular anime series, like Death Note
However,
and
that was
Fullmetal
horrible.
Alchemist.
I want to rant about that. That was horrible. That Death Note adaptation was one of the worst anime adaptations I've ever seen in my human life. Who is the moron who made who basically made the main characters, made them go from like geniuses playing a cat and mouse game to whining emos who can't shut up or
the same people who made the Dragon Ball movie.
Oh, God.
Ooh, Last Airbender. Ooh.
The Last Airbender. I'm like Shyamalan. What?
No,
You know what
bad
was-
Shyamalan.
You know what was kind of a fun movie to watch though?
Which one?
Power Rangers.
The most
Which
recent
one?
The most recent one.
I haven't seen it.
Because
didn't watch
it is
it.
so the whole thing with Power Rangers is a very campy franchise to begin
Yeah,
with.
it's meant to
not
be
art.
no.
It's really ridiculous. But they make the amount of I don't know how much Krispy Kreme must have funded 80% of the budget for the film. The entire film revolves around Krispy Kreme donuts. Like the entire film. Like the amount of times they mention Krispy Kreme in this Power Rangers film is insane. It is like, I'm surprised they didn't turn into Krispy Kreme donuts to fight. Like, instead of having Power Ranger coins, they were just Krispy Kreme donuts.
Or like have that scene in Wayne's World where they turn to the camera and be like, you know what? When I'm fighting aliens, I feel the need for a delicious
It's
Krispy
literally
Kreme.
like this film almost, like, it's very close to doing that. The entire plot revolves around Krispy Kreme. It's almost at the point where if you had a drinking game, but instead of drinking, you had a Krispy Kreme classic glazed donut every time they said Krispy Kreme or referenced Krispy Kreme, you would gain 30 pounds by the end of viewing this movie. It's insane.
Oh yeah.
You would have gone through every donut ever. You would.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was actually, and I kind of like really kind of kitschy bad movies, but yeah, Power Rangers was a good movie.
That was. But the thing
Complete-
is, like, it's hard to adapt like animated features to like
Of course
live
it is,
action.
because they're not.
Yeah, because they're completely different mediums, and also,
Yeah.
but also it tends to go really poorly because it appears that in live action they apparently do not understand the story of the anime. Say, for example, Dragon Ball, where I was going, what the hell is this?
Well, that's because it was made by Hollywood people making Hollywood things. That's the one
Learn
thing.
to Dragon Ball, we
You know,
can market
The
that.
one thing I can say about Ghost in the Shell is Ghost in the Shell actually tried to stick to the overall feeling of a real gritty cyberpunk film. They homaged a lot of the original like scenes in Ghost in the Shell. Most of the characters are there. They've changed a bit to kind of change the plot, but it wasn't like this. I don't know. I felt like it fit. Complete side note, have you seen what Amazon did?
What Amazon did?
Amazon
They
is
raised the
hiking
price
the
of
price of
Prime.
Prime to
Right,
$119.
I saw that.
Because Amazon owns the world, and now they can do that.
That is now obscene, though, because their 2-day shipping is no longer 2-day shipping. It's now like 4-day shipping.
Are you really?
Really? You
I've
could sue
always-
them. Can
I've
we sue
always
them for
gotten my
false
stuff-
advertising?
I've never...
I have always gotten my stuff in 2 days from Amazon.
Yeah, I usually... Well, it used to be 2 days meant 2 days from point of order.
Yeah.
It's no longer like... So now it's like... It ships out... And then the problem is the postal service is slacking it. It's not Amazon takes a day to ship it out, and then they predict it'll take a day to get to you. But really what happens is it takes a day to get to the post office, and then it sits in the Niagara Falls, and then it sits in UPS, who then hands it over to the postal service to deliver.
Have you really had this problem? Because
It's always 3 to 4 days for me.
anytime I order something on Amazon, if it says order it now and it'll come in the next 2 days, it does come in the next it only takes 2 days. Every time. I've ordered a lot of things.
It's usually 3 for me. And even when it says do this and it'll be 2 days. In fact, a lot of times it'll say it'll be delivered on this day, and it's always the day after they say it's going to be delivered.
Even the stuff that is guaranteed Prime shipping, or the stuff that is. Wow.
Yes.
I've never had this
all
problem.
I use is guaranteed Prime shipping.
I've never had this
problem.
problem.
And Amazon knows this because previously, if it shipped late, and if you got it late,
Yeah.
you could go back and Amazon would refund you.
Yeah.
Amazon will no longer do that. They are no longer responsible for your order not being shipped. The guarantee is no longer a guarantee.
Boy.
Ooh.
It just
Yeah.
says click now for 2-day shipping. It doesn't say for guaranteed. The guarantee is now there is no legally bound guarantee anymore because they got burned too many times.
Wow.
Also, they're hiking up their rates, which is, I mean, considering half of Amazon, if you spend over $35, you get free 2-day anyway.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a waste of money, but it's because they're spending too much money on their video end. Like
Prime
these
Video
film,
and all
Prime
this other
Video and
stuff,
all
yeah.
the movies they're
I don't
releasing and stuff.
use Prime Video
Well,
whatsoever.
the problem is, and I would totally drop my Prime, but Man in the High Castle Season 3 is supposed to drop at some point.
At some point.
It's done. We're waiting, and they're just holding on to it. And I swear they're holding on to it until after June, whenever it has to pay the $119,
Yeah,
because they're just setting people up.
Does that include like the student discount, or is the student discount still?
I'm still using the student discount, but
Yeah.
no, the student discount I think is still like 50 or 60 or whatever it is.
Wow.
But I don't know how long it's gonna last.
Yeah.
Can we still use the student discount after we
I
graduate?
don't know.
My sister has kept using it.
Really?
Yeah,
Cool.
I think it stays.
Like, how long do our emails
don't
just
know.
stay? Like, can we keep them?
I
Because
don't know.
if not,
Well, here's the deal with that, because my Amazon, I have the email is set to my student discount,
Yeah.
but my Amazon email is not my student email.
yeah.
So like they're separate.
Yeah,
They're
yeah, mhm.
So I think I can.
Like stuff like
Milk.
the Google Docs for our student account. Like, do we keep that, or does
I
that
don't
all
know.
go
It
away?
seems
I have
like
my
it'll-
I have my personal Google Docs account. So
I have
that
like
use,
4.
Yeah.
that I
But
use
I'm
for
sure
like
all my
papers.
school ones. I need to move my thesis off of that.
I got done with my research paper yesterday. I handed it in.
I just gotta finish one more paper and then I'm good.
I got tests. I got
Yeah, I
some
got
tests.
3 tests.
I have a group project.
Cool.
Ooh.
Group
That sounds
projects.
fun.
Groupies.
I got a story for us.
What's the story?
So you guys hear about Arizona's the next state to have protests over teachers' pay? There's been this whole movement over teachers' pay. They want an increase in pay and funding for education.
Yeah.
Yeah, you heard about that?
I didn't hear about Arizona, but I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Arizona's doing walkouts now.
Arizona, because
so-
but the thing with Arizona is from what somebody told me, Arizona, the thing is that they normally they normally vote in pay raises. I hear it's just the fact that the superintendents put restrictions on how the teachers can get the money.
There's a lot of. I remember there was, and this depends upon, like around here in New York, school districts are really district by district determines your pay.
Yeah.
And some school districts make money.
Yeah.
Like some and what's really weird is the gap between teacher pay and administrative pay.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know the difference between a Niagara Falls teacher and a Niagara Falls administration. Because there's like an extra 0 added to it.
Yeah.
It's really... I remember I can't remember, was it Niagara Falls? It might have been one of the other ones, were angry because they were getting rid of one of the things. They were permitted it was like a full plastic surgery coverage in their healthcare.
I heard about that.
And it was like, and they were angry because they were getting rid of it. And I'm like, what's a full plastic? Like, you would get fully comped plastic surgery? And, like, that's good if you're doing, like, reconstructive surgery, if you need surgery to, like, repair something.
Yeah, but you and I both
like,
know what that
if
tends
it
to be
wasn't used
for.
for that, like, and I feel like, but once again, we also have a horribly flawed insurance system in this country and healthcare system, and basically make up your own prices. Which burns if you don't have the insurance, because suddenly, it's like, $1,000 for a doctor to peek in and say, hey, you doing okay? Okay, okay, well, the actual doctor will be with you shortly. They actually did. They charged my mother one time. It was like $600 because a different doctor that wasn't her doctor looked in and said,
Wow.
hey, are you seeing a doctor? And she went, yes. And they're like, oh, okay. And they wrote it as a checkup
Wow.
and
Wow.
charged $600 because normally
Wow.
around here it goes to like Medicare or Medicaid, which covers, and a lot of the insurances around here do really good coverage. But my mother's coverage is through her store, which is not as good coverage. So, she was paying a copay on this that was like $600. It wasn't covered because her deductible was high. So it was like,
Wow.
you had to pay for it. and it's steep, and it's like, yikes, and you're like, really? So you have to challenge that, and then you and they're like, well, we just charge that because the insurance company will just pay it, and they're just basically making up prices to charge the insurance company, and it's nothing. That's where there should be some regulation, I think. I think it'd be great if we regulated that, but no, we don't. We regulate everything else in New York States. Don't regulate the healthcare field. That's a weird one. That's a quirky one.
Oi.
I don't know what's happening anymore.
What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something.
You were gonna say things, Joe. You were gonna speak your mouth words.
Well, as I always do.
Movies.
I think I wanted to ask you this every time I came on, because now we're getting back to this show. How much have you regretted bringing me on this show since we first met?
I do not regret bringing you on, because the second we added you in,
yeah,
I think Bobby kind of started waking up because he was like,
listen,
oh no.
When you talk, I
ramble. So I tended to ramble, and since you were breaking it, Bobby had like his ability to jump in and break it a third time.
Oh yeah.
And Bobby then had a purpose. He served as moderator.
See, I have done a.
You have served your purpose.
I have done good things in this.
No,
station.
you were definitely a good addition. It's just sometimes I want to throw you out this door so fast.
Same thing with you, in all honesty, with me. I think we both wanted to throw each other out.
We clashed pretty intensely.
Oh, yeah.
You need to learn your place, boy.
This
is my show. I'm 22 years old.
I'm the one who's bringing them in with the controversy, boy.
You are controversy.
Which I love.
You're the incarnate version of controversy.
I am controversy incarnate.
You're controversy and fudge.
Yeah,
you're
seriously,
like that sign that used to be in Erie.
What are we going to do with this fudge?
Bobby, do you ever remember that sign that said, it was near Splash Lagoon, and it said, pepper spray, stun guns, sugar-free fudge?
Yes.
That was my favorite sign ever, because you know the most dangerous thing in there was the sugar-free fudge. Yeah. Like, that is dangerous,
Sugar-free gummy bear.
That's
no.
No.
We should do that. That's our challenge. That's how we end the show.
No, please, no.
All of us eat an entire bag.
They have, like, those giant gummy worms at It's Sugar, you know? They got, like, those huge gummy worms.
Oh, yeah.
Try that.
Just go into convulsions.
I heard a story, a guy ate a whole one of those. He was just fine. Whole at one sitting.
I wouldn't recommend it.
I wouldn't recommend eating a whole giant gummy worm.
They had, on Achievement Hunter, Michael ate a big gummy bear, and then he threw it all up.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
I think I also remember when I first walked in, getting back to this, didn't you say you were profoundly offended by the fact that I had some constructive criticism for you or something?
I was... Okay, so here's the real deal.
Here's the story of how we first met. Here's why we first met.
It was junior year, Niagara 124. Our show was lulling, as it usually does. And... Now, people used to, like, they'd listen to our show, and they don't say anything. We just talk about the show. Joe, who was the show before us, which automatically peeves me, because I like having the slot before me. Like, my thing is having the slot before me and playing, like, really bad music, like Tattoo and stuff, because I could play what I want. And his show was directly before ours, and he was just playing his music, which totally clashed with my aesthetic.
Ha, ha, ha.
And then he comes after our show and tells us that he has some pointers about our show and things that we need to improve on.
You were just rambling.
This freshman little boy coming and after 4 seasons on the air telling me how I should be improving my show.
You were just...
So the first thing I said to him, realizing that this was a great opportunity, is, well, why don't you just come on the show? Because I thought, considering that he sounds like someone who has an opinion and would talk, maybe we should put him on the show. Since we lost our opinionated goofball in James, I needed a replacement. And thus, Joe became the third co-host.
Although, in all honesty, I'm a very different animal than James, although, in my opinion.
Mainly because... No, you're not.
Yes, I am!
You're not British and you're less charming.
I don't have the Sean Connery voice.
You don't have... The thing about James was he was horribly offensive, but there was something charming about his offensiveness.
I'm not as bad as James, though.
I would say that. I would
Yeah,
agree with that.
no one is as bad as James. James was like,
And
the fact that he's become a deacon concerns me, greatly concerns me.
he also shrugged off being stabbed like it ain't no thing.
Yeah, how do you get stabbed? And in the most British response ever, takes a nap, makes himself a cup of tea, and then goes to the nurse.
When was he stabbed?
Oh, so you remember when he stopped showing up to the show?
Yeah.
In sophomore year? Yeah. It was because he was stabbed twice.
Where?
At the Valero.
Oh.
He was robbed and stabbed. And Ron didn't tell me he was stabbed, he just told me he was robbed. And I'm like, Ron, why didn't you tell me he was stabbed? He's like, oh, I thought he should tell you. I'm like, I haven't seen him in 4 months, Ron. You told me that 4 months ago. He's like, oh, you know. I'm like, that was kind of a key important because James like, oh yeah, they got me here and they got me here. I'm like, what do you mean they got you? Oh, they stabbed me. Like, you were stabbed. He's like, yeah. I'm like, and let me guess, you made yourself a cup of tea? He's like, don't be ridiculous. I took a nap. And then I made myself a cup of tea. And then my shirt was sticking to me from all the blood, so I went to go see the nurse. And the nurse was like, when did this happen? I'm like, oh, about, 4 hours ago. Because James was stabbed. He's like, but it didn't feel cold, so I knew he didn't stab me very deeply. So I took a nap. Made myself and I'm like, what, do you make yourself a cup of tea? He's like, don't be ridiculous. I took a nap, and then I made myself a cup of tea. And then my shirt was sticking to me from all the blood, so I went to go see the nurse.
In all honesty, James sounds like the British Rasputin in that he cannot die.
No, James can very much, I mean, he's fallen off cliffs and things. He can very much die.
Oh.
I think the thing with James is he so doesn't care. He's kind of nonchalant.
He really doesn't.
So not only is he offensive, but he's passively offensive.
Yeah.
Like he's very he's just matter-of-factly. The first thing he asked me when we called him, he's like, "Is White Squanto still there?" Oh, of course he is. I'm like, that is so like who just asks that matter-of-factly?
This is such a meme-worthy thing, folks. If you don't know the story,
we were at the Power Vista, and outside the Power Vista, there's a drawing of one of the Tuscarora, and it's sun faded, so it's very white. And James would just stand there screaming about white Squanto because he's offensive, and he's offended that they made him white. But he's also using some of the most offensive terminology to start yelling about how white it is. So it's like...
Yeah, well, the terms...
James is like a politically incorrect person pointing out political incorrectness by being politically incorrect.
It's great.
I remember one time I told him that he can't be offensive because he's black, but he also can't be offended because he's black. I have to be offended for him as a white person. Because that was during the era where, like, the only people that were, like, screaming about political incorrectness were, like, and this was before Black Lives Matter, it was just, like, white people on Tumblr screaming about racism, and I'm like, where are the people that are actually being affected? And, like, this was, like, it was a very brief period where the stint was, that was the loudest voice, and I was like, well, where are the people actually being affected? I want to hear from them. But there was, like, no one would do it in the loudest voices. There was no nuance in anything. And there's still no nuance in anything, but this was just, like, the period where it was more like, oh, that's funny, everyone has no nuance, instead of now where it's like, oh, man, everyone is just kind of very intense.
There is no nuance. Everybody's getting very angry at each other.
We all just are angry people.
Yeah.
We are anger. Much anger.
Much anger.
Much anger.
You are proudy and have much anger.
So, yeah.
But yeah.
And somehow Niagara 124 survived through all of that.
Yeah. I think...
Well, the only reason it survived is because we didn't stop doing it. We kept going.
Yeah, why? Why is that? Why did we...
Just kept going.
Even when Bobby still doesn't believe that Ron and I got locked out of the Power Vista.
There's a video, Bobby.
There's a video.
Yeah.
We checked the doors. He still, like, he did not believe us. And we were freezing
I had to walk all the way over there.
I know, but no one else would come get us. There was no one else available, and it was like -20. So
Wasn't there anybody at the Power Vista?
No! There was one employee, and they weren't answering the phone. So you were our only hope.
Bobby doesn't believe that you... Bobby says that...
I like
Bobby's like, I can't think of a thing.
You totally could get through. I'm like, what, should I
theories.
hop the Robert Moses or jump off the edge of the cliff? Which one should I do? Do I jump in the gorge or do I jump over, do some parkour over 18 lanes of traffic?
I think you could do that. Do a Frogger.
Frogger, yeah. That's... Yeah.
That's
I think Nico's dead. What?
I
No,
don't
he's
know-
fine.
I
He's
don't
still
know what's
moving.
happening anymore.
Neither do I.
We got like 10 more minutes.
I'm just rambling at
10
this
more
point.
minutes of this.
10 more minutes of rambling.
Which is why I had the pointer for you, because you were just rambling. When I first listened to you,
You
were just
know
rambling.
what, Mr. Mara? Do not tell me about my rambling. Your entire Twitter is a ramble.
Yeah, but mine's a fun ramble.
Okay, know
And
what
an
I've
interesting
been... Wait,
ramble.
no, Bobby.
Yeah.
Know what I've been watching on
What?
YouTube?
What?
Nomad of Nowhere.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It is
What's
so
that?
good!
I,
What's that?
It is, like, really good. It's a
It's-
Rooster Teeth show.
Yeah, it's a new animated show from Rooster Teeth. I watched the first 2 episodes, but I haven't caught up. There's like 6 episodes now, and now they're at a mid-season break or something.
Okay, I watched up to episode 5.
Yeah, I haven't caught
What's
up
it
with it. But
about?
it's pretty. It's like it's new, like it's fresh.
It's
you know?
like post-apocalyptic Western.
yeah.
Cool. So, like Fallout?
No.
No,
it's not Fallout.
No,
It's
funny.
It's no,
entertaining
it's
and-
yeah, it's a charming, like, it's cute.
I'll
like,
check it
it's
out.
not like.
no.
I mean, I
it's
haven't.
cutesy.
I've only watched the first 2 episodes,
It's
so I
still
don't know
cute.
if it gets.
No, it's still cutesy.
But yeah,
It gets a little creepy at times, but it's funny creepy. So.
It's interesting,
Okay.
but they also
Oh, know what I binge watched over
What?
Christmas?
What?
Camp.
I watched the first season of Camp. I
What
haven't
is
watched the
that?
second season.
Season 2 is like insane.
What is that?
It's another show.
It's another show from Rooster Teeth.
It's a little less cutesy.
No, it's a little more sweary. I watched that one though on YouTube at 1.5 speed
Oh my
because I
gosh.
couldn't be bothered to watch it at normal speed. Same thing with I think pretty much everything I watch on YouTube now I try to watch it like 1.25 to 1.5 speed because I want to watch it faster. I want it over, especially if a video's 20 minutes long. I try to watch it at. Sometimes I'll even watch it at 2x.
Ooh,
I've gotten really good at listening to fast talking.
Wow, we are at, like...
16. This
16.
is pretty great. Like for our last.
Our last
last
show,
show-
and we are reaching like our peak.
Thank you,
Where
everybody.
were you people?
Thank you, everybody. Well, 4 people just left. All right, bye.
They just all.
As soon as I said
Every time we mention people, they leave in mass.
As
Wait,
soon as I said it.
Wait. Give me a second, because I know what's happening.
What? Oh, no, it's not him. No, oh, no.
Is
I think it's him. I
It-
can't get in.
Dude,
there. Is it
dude.
you?
how is he doing 4?
What
How is
are
he
you
putting
doing,
4
Zach?
listeners? It's
What are
Every
you
time you
doing?
open up a tab on a Mac, it adds a new listener
Now,
count.
come in here, Zach.
really.
Yeah.
Why
Get
does
in
it
the
work like
studio.
that? Shouldn't
Get
it be
in-
based on IP?
Hold
No,
on.
it's not.
Fudge, Zach.
We're bringing
Fudge.
Zach in. Bringing
Zach.
our friends in.
We're bringing our friend Zach, Mr. Country Music, in.
Hey Zach.
Zach,
It
there's
wasn't you.
fudge.
There's fudge. You want
There's
some
fudge. Eat the fudge.
Do
Do it, please. We have a lot of fudge.
Don't demand that he eats fudge.
I'm a food
Because
pusher.
I'm fat doesn't mean I want it.
Oh.
Discrimination. You just assume my size,
What?
my gender.
But
Do you want a mic? I mean,
I think between Zach and Joe, we've recreated James.
close the door. Let's get Zach mic'd.
That mic over there worked. It's on.
oh jeez.
Yeah, Zach.
Don't grab it like that. We can hear that. It makes noise.
Well, I was gonna say
You might need to speak more into the mic.
Or just turn it on.
it wasn't.
It was on.
It was on.
Only one works, so.
Okay.
Oh, I don't even know if this. I don't know if you can hear me.
Get closer. Closer.
Hi.
There
Yeah,
we
here's
go.
Well, Rooster Teeth.
Hey Zach, what has been your
Okay.
best
Let
Let
experience?
Bobby
Rooster
speak
Oh,
first.
wait.
Let Bobby speak
Rooster
first.
Teeth just released a documentary like detailing like their origins in like the last 15 years.
So
I think we should do that too for this.
Yeah.
Have ourselves
Yeah.
a Rooster
It's
Teeth.
been
Are we
4
as
years.
good as Rooster Teeth? I think we're as good as Rooster
a
Teeth.
big part of it was Monty and like everything he contributed to the growth of the company and Ruby, and like it was sad, and I miss Monty, and Monty was
We
good.
never did talk about that letter that came out
The what?
from when the one animator that worked under Monty got fired.
Yeah, I didn't read all of it. I read bits and pieces of it.
What's it
but-
about?
He accused Rooster Teeth of basically intentionally kind of destroying Monty's vision for Rooster Teeth. Or, I mean, for
Ruby. I don't.
How so?
I'm eating fudge. You really want me to answer that?
Yeah.
Um,
I'm eating fudge too.
don't know.
Well, they kicked out Monty's, was it his wife, I think? Or his girlfriend?
Yeah, they were married.
Yeah, they were married. So his wife, they kicked her out of like the whole inner workings for Ruby, and basically shunned her.
And I like Sheena. I don't know what went on there, but I don't know. Also, don't know. Like, she wasn't an employee at the company, so like I don't.
So like,
know what
why
happened.
why you wanted to bring her in? But
Zach,
I think
what are you doing?
one of the things I will note, there was a video on it that said, because one of the things they did lose was Monty's sense of fight timing.
Yeah,
Someone pointed that out.
The choreography and everything.
Choreography and the rhythm of the fights were much better.
Although Volume 5 had some pretty good stuff in
There were
it.
some good fights, but it was very.
It wasn't.
A lot of lulls in it.
Yeah.
And I guess Ruby was always supposed to be super serious and get more serious as time goes on.
Yeah.
Really?
But it's getting almost. I don't want to say too serious.
I like where it's
I
going.
don't hate where it's going, but I don't. I think my issue with it is, have you seen what they've talked about? They said they have enough material for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
And that's too long.
Well, it
This
was
show should not.
Monty always had it planned out for like 10 volumes at the least.
Yeah, but it's still. But he didn't because right before he died was when he came up with the idea for the maidens. And they had to shoehorn. That's why everything had to get rewritten, and that's why people are like, "Oh, well, after," because he like just woke up one day, he's like, "We need to have the maidens," and completely changed the entire plot of Ruby, and then he died and left everyone to kind of have to figure out how to repiece it all together again.
Well,
Which I would like to have known what actually was going to happen if it wasn't the maidens.
I know, me too. But like, I think they're doing pretty good with it, and I think
It's not bad.
I think if Monty was still here, he would like where they're going with it.
Yeah.
It just would have had better timing. Would have had better fight timing.
Better fight timing. You have anything to contribute, Zach? What's been your fun experiences on our
I don't
show?
even know what we're talking about.
Talk about
Our
Niagara.
show.
What's your favorite thing from Niagara 124?
Everything. And I think the one time I was on here, I don't know. I love it all. I think we have the best general manager that we could possibly have right now. So that's what helps keep the show running smoothly. He pops in from time to time, and makes it all go good.
Please note that.
And our general manager is named Sheepy Niagara.
Right in the kidney. Right in the kidney.
Oy.
I never said anything.
You did it, but
Nico, you're just a club member. You were never a part of management here. I don't know why you're getting so defensive.
because I'm pretty sure the website says otherwise.
Well, then we have to update that, obviously. You were only general manager for like a day.
And unfortunately,
you know what? That's my fault. I'm in charge of updating the website.
Wait a second.
Unfortunately,
Zach is going to be general manager, and he can't get out of it.
Zach, can you take me a picture off the
unfortunately,
website?
Zach, I would have taken the general manager job, but
Well,
all you guys, admittingly, Australia is a pretty epic trade-off. So I'm doing just fine, guys. I'm doing great.
Have fun in Australia.
Joe, you're not
Joe.
going to be the general manager.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's good. Yeah. Well, when I get back from Australia, I will.
No, you won't.
No.
That's not how this works.
What? Does this work?
Maybe when Zach graduates, he'll have a shot at it.
What? How does this?
well, we
Okay,
have a-
that'll just get a
Because
management
it's a
job.
year-long thing. You can't. You have to have it for the full years, Joe.
Will we have a club by then?
What?
If we ask Carrie Teresa, absolutely.
Please save us. Please give us
Awkward
money.
silence.
Save us from ourselves.
Save us.
So,
Save us from ourselves.
Save
say?
me, call my name, and
What was I gonna
save
say?
me from my.
We've had a pretty good run on here.
It's been well.
It's been fun.
I'm gonna miss There's some moments in WNIA that I'm going to miss. I'm gonna miss the manager's office. That I love that room. Its own computer.
Yeah, it's great. I can go back there and study. It's a quiet place.
I'm not going to miss the 3 times we've had to change this computer because it overheats.
Let's just keep coming back here every Friday anyway, even if we have
with no full-time just like kick the door down.
I would let you guys in, for the record. I would let you in.
Yeah, he would.
I'd let
one
you
of
in.
these days, maybe like near the before winter break, like in that pocket season.
We're not even going to have doors next semester. Anybody who wants a show could just come
walks in.
You don't have to be a part of the club. You don't have to pay dues. You can just have a show.
That is not true.
We're like an artist collective. We just, let people in.
We wanted to do that, but according to Newska bylaws, not going to happen.
We don't listen to Newska anyway.
We could always become an internet podcast.
Yeah.
We could. Do we really want to make more of this?
Do
we really want to go full American Idol, disappear for a few years, and then come back on a different channel?
As a fan, I want it.
And you know what? I'd love to have my own show where I'm unrestrained.
You have your own show. It's called Joe's Garage.
No, like a talk show. I'll have an unrestrained talk show where it's like...
I won't be on that.
No, Nico.
Neither will I.
Define unrestrained. Okay, never mind then.
You want me to define unrestrained?
Well,
your version of unrestrained in terms of your show. Never mind.
Do you want to know?
Okay, next topic.
Next topic.
Well, did you want to end soon or?
Because they've been rambling.
Yeah.
We should sing Happy
I was
Birthday.
about to say you gotta get to your thing, right?
Well, no, I still have half an hour.
Still got half an hour. Okay, why don't you just ramble?
Actually, it's over half an hour. I don't know how much longer. I mean, we've run out of things. Do we have anything else to talk about?
Zach, you got anything since you're a fresh brain in here?
Well, yes.
Okay, what you got?
That was it.
Me too.
That was it, yes.
That was it. You just want to say yes.
Well.
Is her name Fredburger?
Has anybody seen the Yodeling Kid? He released a song.
He released a song?
Yes, and it's like the complete opposite of what he did.
We need to stop.
I like the EDM remix.
No.
His new song is kind of like an EDM remix almost.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
Well...
That bad. No EDM mix. No.
Yeah, he signed at 11, sold out by 11 and a half. It's kind of, it works actually.
You know how that industry is, man. It just chews you up and spits you out.
Justin Bieber too.
Joe would know.
Yeah. I've sold records. Eventually, hopefully, I can get around to that. Still working on getting recording equipment and getting a solid lineup.
Oh, there's a radio station.
Well, yeah, and a solid lineup. Lineup. We don't have a bass player because our bass player keeps flaking on us.
I mean...
Just use computers like the other people.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the reason why we are the #1 radio station of 2076, 2077.
What?
As listed on the Intergalactic Broadcasting System.
Well, I'll keep track of that. If I'm still alive by then, we'll see.
Yeah. How old would we be? If you were born in, 95, how old would you be?
I would be 79 for the record.
Minus...
How old would I be for 76, 77?
Yeah.
Let's calculate it.
81.
Somewhere around
81. I turn 81 in 76.
Wow. So you'd still be alive, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe. Hopefully.
I sure hope so.
Yeah. The hope is. Although I've always had a premonition I'm probably going to be dead before I hit 40, but...
Can you not? Can you not do that, Mr. Musician?
I'm going to try not to. That's the hope.
You and your musician thing. Well, on that happy note, because we are the Death Show, we started off in 2014 as the Death Show, only talking about death and Zika and guardrails.
Wait, what are some other topics you've addressed? Maybe I can weigh in on those.
How do you feel about North Korea?
You know, they're bad and shit.
And we've done it, ladies and gentlemen! No drop button, and our guest is sworn. It is officially Niagara 124. We are officially a Niagara 124 episode.
Oh, our show's getting canceled now, so bye.
The censors are coming at the door.
Want to just give up?
Here they are. They're coming to kick the doors down.
Oh, no.
Oh, man. Everything is going to crazy town. Oh, no. They're here. Here they are.
Hang on. Don't worry. We'll be fine. You'll never take me alive, cops!
Wow,
Annika!
Okay.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, it is time.
I'm here all week.
Yeah, I'll be here all week. So we'd like to personally thank all the people, you wonderful, wonderful folks who've listened to the show, both for the 4 seasons I've been on, but also for the full 8 that Nico and Bobby have been on. We thank you all very much, and it's been very fun speaking to you and hearing us ramble about the most insane things. It's been fun on my end, and yeah.
Yeah, I've had a good time. If anybody wants to keep doing this, I'm down for it. Online.
Podcast!
Well, definitely.
You guys can still come in here, I don't mind.
I say maybe not every week, because that's a bit much.
Yeah.
But we could definitely make a podcast every once in a while.
I'd be game.
A video? We do even a video?
Yeah.
I'm happy to be part of, a small part of this one season here for Niagara 124.
And we can have specialty. What would the podcast be? Like news or current events, or do you want to shake it up and do, big, intense discussions?
All right, maybe I don't want to do a podcast.
Yeah, see, we've already doomed it. See, when you think about it, then it doesn't work.
You think about it, it doesn't work.
So, for the last time...
I'm just going to throw this on.
What are you throwing on?
Well, it's cheers.
Oh.
Is it cheering? What's
no,
happening?
I had it
can't
turned
hear
off. So try it again.
I can't hear what's happening.
Try it again.
Yes, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, thank you.
It's working.
It's been wonderful. Thank you.
So, for the very last time in WNIA, for 124, I ain't going first, so you guys better say your names. For 124.
I'm Zach.
Thanks, Zach.
I've been here for 5 minutes.
I'm Joe. I've been here for half the seasons.
I'm Bobby. I've been here the whole time.
And I'm Nico, and I'll be haunting this place forever. So, for all of us here at Niagara 124,
au revoir.
so long.
Goodbye.